It's time once again for a weekly update with the mayor from the city of New Hope, Kathi Hemken. Kathy, how are you today?
Fine, thanks. How are you?
I am very good. Thanks for joining us. We have a lot to touch on, as always, that's happening in the city of New Hope, and we want to start with some construction updates around the Civic Center. Give us a little idea of what we're seeing right now and how things are really moving ahead.
Well, it's busy as can be over there. We're doing landscape. We're planting trees. If you notice, there's water in the pool. That water's in there so we can cure the plaster. The pool, sadly, is not open, even though it might look like there were some people over there. They were testing the slides to make sure that they were safe. When all that is done, they'll empty the water out. But I have to tell you, the bike paths and the walking paths around the pool are open, so you can use those. All the theater stuff is being put in. We're trying to be able to do something in the theater. It's not going to be the normal play we have, but if we can get the grass to take, we might do something in the late or early fall there.
Wonderful.
And the picnic shelter might be open too.
All right, so a lot happening at the Civic Center area. Let's talk about COVID-19 and the CARES funding that came to the city. First, for a little background information, tell us what this is, who this came from, and then we can talk more specifically about where it might be going.
So the federal government made $841 million available to the state. Our legislators did a formula based mostly on population as to how much each city would get. New Hope was awarded $1.6 million. So that money was put in a separate account at the bank so that we could keep track of our expenses on COVID-19, what it has cost us as a city to deal with this. So we have to document everything by the 17th of September, and we can draw out of there from that. Any money we don't use will simply go back to the state in the process. So it can't be used to offset any funds that have been lost from not operating, but it does pay for things like the shields that they're putting up, the disinfectants that we're using, the masks, all that kind of stuff. The other thing we're looking at is the possibility of being able to do some loans or grants to some of the small business that really got hurt. The restaurants, the barbershops, the nail salons, the fitness centers, those places really took a beating on this COVID-19 when it shut down. So we're looking to help them a little bit if we can. The other thing that's happening is the fire department has had what's called a duty crew. They're working 12 hours a day for 7 days a week with 4 people on this duty crew. The reason they're doing that is because in the event of a fire, and they call in the fire department because it's an on-call fire department, they come in, and if one of them happens to be sick, they've now infected the whole fire department, and we lose our fire staff. And so they thought by doing this, 4 people at a time, those 4 stick together, they do these various shifts for 12 hours, 24/7. The problem is that it comes with a cost, and the cost is about $235,000. FEMA, we think, is going to pay for about 75% of that. The other 25% comes from the cities, and that money that the cities are going to put in that is going to come out of this CARES money that we got. So we don't know exactly how much is going to be used. According to Kirk McDonald, the city manager, he doubts that all of it will be used, and what doesn't get used will just go back to the state. Very
good. Great information. Again, if you want more information on that process or any updates as it moves along, go to the city's website, newhopemn.gov. Mayor, one of the things that's been affected by COVID-19 has been the way the city does inspections, but things are changing slowly but surely. Give us an update of what is the latest there.
Well, we had to do a plan so that we made sure that not only the inspectors are safe, but so are the owners of the property. So we're going to be doing business inspections, so the occupancy for businesses. We'll be doing single-family conversions to rental inspections and the point-of-sale inspections. Our rental inspections are going to have to be put on hold for a little while till we just kind of get caught up. One of the things that will happen with the inspections we are doing is our inspectors will have all the personal protection they need, and so will the owner of the property. We're asking that just one other person be in there with the inspector, and they're going to have to sign something that says they're not sick. both the inspector and the owner of the property. So we're trying to keep our distance. They'll inspect the property. We want the owner there in case there's some questions. We're trying, but we have to be safer. We have to keep staff safe as well as the owners.
Understandable. Let's move ahead to Park and Recreation. The staff there has been very creative here over the summer and looking for new ways to do things. And now things may be getting a little bit back to normal. What programs are up and running? What can some of the families do?
Well, lots of the Park and Rec programs are open. Some of them are virtual. There's a few things. I know you can go into City High and buy a science kit. I have no idea what it costs, but it's something you can bring home and do with the kids. The gymnastics program is opening. And the dance program is open. They are social distancing in those. The parents are thrilled to have their kids back in the program. Lots of softball and baseball programs are open. But the one big thing that's happening is this is the weekend for Duck Duck Days, formerly known as Duck Duck Days. It is now Hay Days in New Hope. And they always have a softball tournament, and they are going to have those softball tournaments starting the 16th to the 19th of July. There's 50 teams that will be playing. They'll be playing in all the various parks. On Thursday night, they're having that home run tournament, and they're having the All-Star tournament there at Victory Park. So if you like softball, go, wear your mask, social distance, but you can get out and watch a game.
Well, that is fun. A little fun and excitement in the city of New Hope as we head through the summer here. And again, go to the city's website to find out that schedule and ways you can get engaged with that. We've been talking infrastructure projects throughout the past month or two as it's been the season. Give us an update on some of those projects and what's happening specifically in some neighborhoods that have had a lot of work.
Well, 36 and a half circle is actually done. But poor Northwood Parkway, that is such a big project. They had to divide it into two stages. Phase one, which is the west side, is making really good progress. They're just starting to rip up the streets and put in the pipes in phase two, and that's on the east side. Northwood Park, those poor guys have been just struggling with this all along. They are going to have a mill and overlay on 35th in Gettysburg. That's about a 3-day project. I'm sure the Northwood Park folks would rather have the 3-day project, but that'll just be a little bit of a mess. You can still drive on it. We had to do a lot of things at Northwood Park to make sure that people could get out and that emergency vehicles could get in. And when you have to do that, you have to do it in stages. And when you do it in stages, it takes forever. So be patient with the Northwood Park people because they're really in a mess.
Very well said. Final note we wanted to touch on is the tobacco ordinance, and there is an update to that process. Give us a little background of what had taken place and a little update on what is going to take place now here in July.
Okay. Well, this has been going on forever too. Yeah. So people came to us about 2 years ago to change the ordinance to 21. In the meantime, the state changed it. So we went along with that, and we changed the ordinance to 21 to buy, 18 to sell. We wanted to remove, the state wanted us to, and we did, remove all of the flavored tobacco products, the cherry and the bubble gum and the pizza flavor and lemonade, and leave mint, menthol, and wintergreen in. Well, we thought we had done a really good job of informing everybody and telling them when these meetings were happening. Apparently, there were some concerns out there. And so now we're going to have to relook at it again. We're going to do that on the 27th of July. The consulates. We'll take another look at it, make sure that we didn't miss anybody this time. So notes have been sent out to the stores that sell tobacco products that the July 2nd date was no longer enforced. And after the 27th of July, we'll put out a new date on the enforcement date. So sorry about that, but occasionally things get slipped through the cracks and we miss something. And this one, I believe we missed something.
All right, appreciate the update on that. And again, if you want updates of all the information that we've talked about and other things coming up in the city, go to newhopemn.gov. Mayor
I just
Hemken?
want to remind, but before you go away, I just want to remind people we have an August 11th primary. And you can go into City Hall. We're one of 3 cities that allow you to do that. You can go into City Hall and get your absentee ballot, fill it out, and just hand it in to them. They'll take care of sending it in. Or you can request one online, and they'll send you an absentee ballot, fill it out, and send it back in. It's very important that you vote in the primary, and that's August 11th.
Very important timing to get that out. And again, newhopemn.gov to find out more about that election process in the city of New Hope. Mayor, thank you again as always, and we look forward to talk to you again very soon.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
Learn more about The Connection at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.